Many people would readily say protecting our children, keeping them safe is the highest priority. Yet many of those same people may be putting children in danger.
And this video proves it. Cameras mounted on the side of Florida school buses show vehicle after vehicle not stopping, but instead driving right by those school bus stop signs, stop arms that extend from the side of the bus. What you can't see, and what all these violators don't see, the kids getting on and off those buses, and they could walk right into the path of those cars. Channel 4's Ken Justice joins us tonight live in St. Augustine with this safety alert.
Kent, you've been investigating this, and you found one group that is pushing to make the kids safer?
Yeah, Tom, because thousands of cars are whizzing by. School buses stop to let kids get on or get off. That's the most dangerous time. And the cars are going by because people are in a hurry, or maybe they're ignorant of the laws. Either way, a local group says cameras mounted to catch the offenders, much like red light cameras, could be the key to keeping our children safer.
Asia? Hey, Zach.
These are some of the children at risk. We're on bus 215 in St. Johns County, driven by Bob Aponte.
People just don't want to be stuck behind a school bus.
Mounted cameras on Florida buses in a pilot program show these are the drivers putting children at risk. These are drivers piloting at a pace and in a way that says, I don't care. Well, that's how the Florida Stop Arm Safety Coalition feels about it. Quote, the modest inconvenience of an extra few seconds spent waiting for a stopped school bus is insignificant compared to the loss of a child's life.
Happened to my friend Robert before, up by his stop.
What happened there?
He was walking on the bus and a car just went right by, flew right by him.
We rode the bus on the high school route to St. Augustine High School for a few days. We watched as almost all the drivers made the adjustment when Bob Aponte's school bus turned on the red lights and pushed out the stop sign. These cars stopped. But that doesn't happen all the time, and in Aponte's mind, it happens too often.
I would say every other day I may get a car that passes through my stop signs after they've been activated.
Counties around the state turned in their numbers, charting how many times a vehicle or vehicles didn't stop when a school bus stopped to pick up children or to let their passengers off. In that one day, bus drivers reported more than 21,000 cars passing stopped buses. Let's look county by county. St. Johns County reported 117 incidents that particular day. Duval County with 1,600 plus motorists who drove past when they shouldn't have. In Clay County, bus drivers reported 238 motorists passing them on red. Nassau County had 33 drivers breaking the law. Baker County, only 5 incidents with 45 bus drivers. That's a lot of opportunity for children to get hurt. And that's also a hot-button issue for people like Ken Jefferson.
The reason it's a pet peeve of mine is simply because you're dealing with the lives of children.
Our Channel 4 crime and safety analyst is a former Jacksonville police officer. He says the reasons he heard when he pulled motorists over for this offense amount to, quote, didn't pay attention, didn't see it, or didn't do it.
And none of those are acceptable because that means that they're not paying attention to what they're doing, which means that these children's lives are in danger when they're not paying attention, when they don't see it, or when they're speeding.
Drivers I spoke to seem genuinely concerned about every child who fills up the seats. And while they recognize they can't control what other motorists do, they focus specifically on what they as drivers can do to protect all these kids.
That can be frustrating for everyone, to include the public, is the fact that there's not a fix for this.
Joe Purvis directs the St. Johns County Schools Transportation Department. He has instructors like Aponte teaching new drivers the basics. And Purvis says the basics always include teaching drivers to train the children on their buses how to stay safe. Plus, he teaches defensive tactics, expecting other drivers to miss what Aponte says should be obvious.
When I grew up, red always meant stop, green always meant go. No matter what I was doing.
I saw them blow right past it as though the bus was not stopped. That is total negligence, and I'm grateful and very thankful that there haven't been many fatalities as a result of that.
Well, that's the part everyone in this story wants to see change. No more cars rolling past the red lights and the stop arms on the school buses when children are stepping up or stepping off a bus when they're most at risk.
That says that there's a lot of potential out there, purely by accident, to hit a child or children crossing the road. That should be a concern for all of us and argue for more attention, I think, as we're driving.
It's definitely not safe. It happens too often, and it should be stopped.
Now, some of those angles, you saw the camera angles of cars just going right past the stopped buses. They come to us from the pilot program that I mentioned, from the Florida Stop Arm Safety Coalition. They're trying to pass a law that would require cameras to be mounted in places that you could see the stop arm there, that you could see violators. Unfortunately, it's in the Senate and the House right now, and the Stop Arm Coalition from Florida telling me that it doesn't look like the legislation's going very well, with session ending this week. As a matter of fact, they've told me that they're having a hard time even getting it heard in the committees. So if that's something that's important to you or interests you, definitely contact your lawmaker. Kent Justice, Channel 4, the local station.
And for any of our viewers who say they really don't know when they have to stop for a school bus and when they can keep going, explain to us what the law says.
So let me show you some of the video. The video that we showed you there earlier that we've slowed down for you just to give you an example so you can find out. You see a school bus stopping, but the traffic traveling the opposite direction keeps going. Well, the Florida Stop Arm Safety Coalition provided this video saying that these folks are breaking the law. Why? What's the law breaking there? It's because there's no barrier. There's no unpaved median, and Ken Jefferson says, you know, there are times when the kids are going to have to cross over all those lanes of traffic. That's where the danger lies. So, if you're unclear, the law says there are only 2 reasons not to stop when the school bus stops and puts on those red lights, both involving traffic going the opposite direction. It's if there's a raised barrier dividing the highway, or if there's an unpaved median, like a grassy area that is at least 5 feet wide. Those are the only 2 real reasons. So remember, that means painted lines or the pavement markings, they are not considered barriers. That means you have to stop. Tom, Mary?
Important stuff. Thank you, Kent.